Jeff from Ralco. My job is to find and approach businesses that have never been on the radio and lead them down the gravity well to purchase their first campaign. Well, he would know about that. Most of the time, before I can build a relationship, learn about their business goals, or share about the amazing benefits of radio, they ask, how much does it cost? Is that page 1 or is that... Okay, there we go. How do you handle a situation when a prospect asks this question early on? Do you deflect and let them know you will get to that later? Oh, no. Or do you throw them numbers right away? So I'm going to answer this question in a general way with Wizard Academy thought. And then I'm going to let Dave take over as someone who's actually had to sit at that table and sell that radio ad. Is that fair?
Yeah. And is this
Jeff
from
Gross?
Jeff Gross?
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know. Is there a chat that we can actually look at?
Let's see.
Let's not get too complex.
Okay.
We'll move on. Okay, let's assume it's Jeff. There's 2 principles at play when it comes to money questions. And question 1, or situation 1 is, if someone asks a money question, the only thing out of your mouth needs to be a money answer. That's it. So if someone says, how much? The first word out of your mouth immediately needs to be a number, full stop. No qualifiers, no, well, it depends, or, we do a lot of different, but nuh-uh. Anything other than a dollar amount, and you're going to come off as weaselly and disingenuous and trying to work them. And so if you do anything we'll get to that. Any number you say after that, 5 minutes later, is going to sound high. I don't care if it's $500. It's going to sound high.
Yeah.
Right? So, however, you're in a situation where you actually don't know the answer to that question. And we get that, right? So, when you answer a money question without context, you start with the highest number and you immediately follow it without taking a breath with the lowest number that it's ever cost to do something with you. So you can say, right, how much does it cost to be on radio? Well, $100,000 is the largest campaign we've ever run. That was for an annual spend. It was 12 months of radio. They were on with this repetition and all of this, and it was a 5-location jewelry store chain in our area. Now, the lowest we've ever gone was $500. That was for a one-time announcement for a nonprofit who was going to do a dinner down the street at their church to raise money for this dig a well in Africa or something, right? My guess is, based on the size of your business, you'll probably land somewhere on a healthy radio plan between this one and this window, but I kind of need to know more information before I would offer a recommendation that would be confident with those numbers, right? Does that make sense?
And I think you could also qualify. Like I agree. Go with the high. Like we've got our biggest client spends this amount a month, a week, a year, however you want to do that. And for the lowest price, I think you could also get away with saying, look, we have people that have spent very little money, but as far as an effective schedule, something that we know has worked. Minimum is something like this, but it's basic.
Yeah. Let me insert real quick there though. I would not do that. And this is what I mean by this. I would never give an example of someone who did radio badly and give their number.
Right. But that's
now that would be a part of the conversation later for me, which was like, you can do this really cheap, but it won't be done well.
Yeah.
I would only list in my numbers people who did something the right way.
Yeah.
And so I would say, like, we did $1,000 ad for a church.
Yeah.
And that was fine because we ran it all day leading up around an event. Come by today for the next 4 hours.
Yeah.
And we ran it every 5 minutes during the 4-hour window that they had their event, and that was really effective. That's not going to work for you because you're not an event-based company.
Yeah, so you could say that for ongoing everyday branding, here's the range.
Yeah.
This amount is the most you could ever spend with us, and this amount is the least you could spend on a branding campaign that's going to make you a household word with a tiny part of our audience, and we know how to do that.
Yeah.
For events, you typically just, what's the budget, and you're going to run one ad an hour backwards from the start of the event, and that's usually going to work to some extent if you write the ad well, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
But you don't want to go too thin, and what's the old say? Like the biggest mistake is not is just underspending.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And you
That's
should
the
know
risk.
enough about their business to give pretty accurate price ranges for clients you have that are in the similar shape of their business. So you could be pretty right on the money. Like you're not going to give plumbing numbers to a restaurant that you're meeting with.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully that's helpful. And pull up there it is on the more right there. And click
The chat.
Thank you. Click that. There we go. Okay. Got it. Yeah. And scroll down there. Thanks, guys. Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to see. That was a real Jeff, and that was helpful.
All right.
Okay. Let's see what number 3